Welcome to another edition of Four Fingers Deep here on Backdoor Radio.
No. You gotta say it with more conviction.
What do you mean conviction?
You gotta be like, welcome to Four Fingers Deep. Yeah.
What is this? All creatures great and small? Keep going.
I'm about to beat your ass on the Reading Rainbow.
You're not Santa this time. She's got the sleigh.
What?
Sleigh rhymes with gay. Ooh. Yeah, come on, intro, now.
I just did the intro.
Do it again. I didn't hear it.
You were sitting right there.
More conviction! I wasn't paying attention. I have ADD. You know
I
this.
think he says he wants you to have a little more feeling, a little more oomph, if you will.
Oh. Sing me the song
There's a
of
joke
joy.
there, but...
True beauty is so painful.
I think he wants to
dear.
hear the hip thrust.
What?
I want to hear the wind shear as it comes forward.
I beat you to the joke.
Butt sex.
Fucking whore.
I mean... Wind shear on my dick. Cool breeze on my cotton balls. Oh, sorry, I'm just very popular.
No, you're not.
Shut your goddamn lips.
Texting yourself does not count.
It does if you're me.
Well, yes. We are here. Everybody shut the fuck up. I hate you guys so much. I really do hate all of you.
No, I was listening to you, but I was on MSNBC.com and I saw fracking, and I'm like, somebody's been watching Battlestar Galactica one too many times.
Yeah. Dude, I'm gonna totally ram you in your fracking well, dude.
Aww.
I'm gonna put a fracking well right up your ass. Black gold! Or brown gold, depending on how you look at it.
Oh my.
Now take us in, damn it!
Jesus Christ.
Wow. I need to mute this son of a bitch.
Alright.
I got a Twitter tweet. That's the first time I've seen one of these.
You got a Twitter tweet?
Discover more on Twitter. No, I just want to make... It wants me to feel like I have people that pay attention to me.
So a roundabout way of saying you should feel important.
It's a roundabout way of saying you need to get, some nuts. Stop being a bitch.
I'll stand behind Cal and wait my turn.
Damn right you will. Because that bitch is going to get a mouthful. It might spill over, so you need to be there and get ready to catch it.
Oh, no.
You'll never look at that bag of the same again. It looks like Cal's mouth.
What? Oh, sorry, it would be more like, oh, chap, I really hope it doesn't go down like this.
Can I have some tea first? Need to take something and chase it with it.
Right in the back door.
Oh.
Siege the gates! Siege the gates! Prepare the battering ram! Don't throw something at me, please. I'll know better for next time.
Alright, fine.
Hand me one of those.
Welcome to another edition of Backdoor Radio. Thank you for joining us on Four Fingers Deep.
Oh, 3 today.
Only 3 today, because Fred...
Well, we got one chopped off the machinery. No! Not like this!
So we have dolphin rape and dinosaur beef?
Damn right.
My whistle won't work!
Stay.
Oh, Stegosaurus.
It's a brontosaurus.
Shut the fuck up.
Stegosaurus over there.
I'm about to say there's one of them over there
No.
somewhere.
Wait, yeah. Is it, no, it's
That's a
not.
stegosaurus.
Yeah, that's a Stegosaurus. Bitch.
Triceratops is the one.
Oh, we don't have a T-Rex. I was kind of...
We don't have a T-Rex.
Big head, little arms.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you, but don't push
What's
me.
this one? Is this supposed to be like a...
Oh!
I'm going to sound like a massive nerd, and the only reason why I know this is because my brother was into this when he was a kid. That's a brontosaurus. That's a Diplodocus.
Okay, cool. Because I was like, it doesn't
Nerd.
look like a neck as a brontosaurus, so it can't be a brontosaurus. But it looks very similar to a brontosaurus.
Yeah.
So yes, the inflatable dinosaurs for good old Fred Zeppelin. So they will be in his place today. What? Fred's not here.
They need to have a
They don't
Duncan
look as old as Fred.
D's
Or as
Dinosaurus.
Actually, I think they are. They do have some dust on them.
Oh, so they're like Fred.
Exactly. We got a dino pile.
Speaking of Fred,
What about him?
just wanted to let everybody know that I have
He's not dead.
done my best. Well, yeah, he's not dead. We didn't have to pull out paddles this time.
Damn it.
I have done my best,
I like that part.
and I have converted him. He's now a Maiden fan.
Woohoo!
Hells yeah.
He especially loves the song "No Prayer for the Dying." So, but he's only gotten from 1980 to 1990. He hasn't heard anything from no prayer for the after no prayer for the dying.
Okay.
So
Because, dude, all I'm going to say is we worked hard all summer long to build the machine, and now we have it.
it's a machine.
Dude, his quote from fucking maybe the song The Longest Day. You were the queerest son of a bitch I've ever met.
Really? How do you not know that?
Technically, I haven't actually listened to it in its entirety yet.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is
Lesbian.
sacrilegious, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Sacramentum.
I'm the biggest Native fan ever. I just don't listen to all the new stuff.
Have you seen my life outside this?
You don't have that much going on.
You want to take some of my kids? I'll let you deal with them for about a week. Then come back to me and tell me I couldn't get on my PS4.
We're hungry. There's beer in the fridge.
Discipline.
Y'all want the back of the hand? Back of the
You want to go ahead and get
hand?
the Chav out of the week? Out of the way?
Oh, yeah. So I'm nominating here for Chav of the Week after, or analog kid, as it were. For Chav of the Week after last week when we were sitting there talking, he was having, he was being a little pissy Chav all fucking week long.
We didn't even finish our show last week.
Yeah, because you were being a
Because Chicken
Chav.
had to leave.
That was
I
right.
And you were
have
being Mr.
dinner
President.
plans. We'll get here fucking early next time.
He was late this time.
It's massively late.
I'll choke you.
Well,
With
since he's
your giant
nominated me,
DJ.
I have my own
No,
nomination.
hold on, I'm not done nominating you. Also, there's something. Oh, yeah, you're also nominated for Chav of the Week.
Where's my satire? Ceremony. Where's my satire?
But yeah, I also nominated for Chav of the Week because you got your brother who's going to all be like up in her, and then you're like, no, don't come.
No, I told him because Fred wasn't going to be here. So
Yeah,
I
no.
was like,
You can come up now, and then you can come up with friends here.
I wanted everybody. My brother's the kind of person. Did you not tell him this?
Tell him what?
My brother's the kind of person. He'll come over with the three of us, hang out, and go. At the end of the show, he gets his jokes out and his anecdotes out and everything. He'll leave and he'll like, yeah, you guys are some of the funniest son of bitches ever. You guys fuckers are great, and we'll never hear from you again. So
apparently it's a one and done sort of
it's
thing.
a one and done sort of
I
thing.
just
So I
hear-
wanted everybody here.
But are we going to do the remaining maiden show with
I just
your
hear- I
brother?
just hear a small
I don't think
mosquito.
he's going
Possibly.
to care.
Possibly.
I really don't. I can't see your brother being.
Well, my
competitive.
brother also said that because he's a brand new father, so he said he was kind of glad he couldn't do it this week. I canceled out on this weekend because he couldn't do it. So he says, I tell you what, I still want to show up. I will let you know when I have another Saturday film because right now he's unemployed, so he's looking for a job.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I was like, okay, that's a little bit more important. So
Yeah.
my
Jeff,
feelings are hurt. So are you done nominating me?
I don't know. You got the
'Cause I have my
brontosaurus
own.
in your hand.
Yeah.
I want to nominate all the people from downtown Vancouver.
Oh! Alright.
Can we talk about the awesomeness that is the Bruins?
Yeah! Tim Thomas, living tissue over endoskeleton.
No, okay.
Learn about it.
I was able to. What part of the actual game that I was able to see where Nameless was in the other room actually watching it
And talking to himself.
and
Shut
talking to
up.
himself. But apparently I can't understand that because I don't have testosterone. Did you hear that part about? I asked Dad because you were talking to yourself, watching the game in the other room. And I asked Dad, I was just like, is he talking to himself? And Dad's like, you wouldn't understand. You don't have enough testosterone.
Yeah!
And I was like, really? But no, I knew anytime that Vancouver attempted to score a goal, because all you would hear would be my brother going, Tim Thomas! Tim Thomas!
Motherfucking Tim Thomas!
Exactly. So
Busting nuts all over the eyes, dude.
Just a little bit of info.
Vancouver lost the Stanley Cup Finals.
A riot broke out in downtown core of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada on Wednesday, June 15th, in the aftermath of Boston Bruins winning the Stanley Cup. The riots happened immediately after the conclusion of the 4-0 game.
Yeah, we stomped their asses.
So it's
Get played.
4-0, and you're like in the last 5 minutes of the game, you know that even if they do score one puck, they still lost the game.
Yeah.
You had to wait until the official scoring to start rioting? That's what I didn't understand. At least 140 people were reported as injured during the incident. One critically, at least 4 people were stabbed.
What?
4 people were stabbed.
Oh, so it must have been the 4 Boston fans that were up there.
And close to 100 people were arrested. Really? Because you Canucks couldn't play hockey that well?
Pretty
Really?
much. And
On
let's
their
be-
own home turf.
Let's be real, dude. It felt good watching Luongo eat that humble pie.
Now, bear in mind, just to tell you just how rabid some hockey fans can be.
Well, Cal actually mentioned us in a
Yes.
tweet that included a link to some pictures from the
Mhm.
bucket. Insane.
Was it some 2 guys were posing next to a cop car they set on fire?
Yeah, there was pictures of
And
people
didn't blow
posing
their
in front of like
faces.
fires in the street and posing in front of like shattered windows. There was people posing in front of cop cars that were flipped over and on fire. And I'm sitting there going, you guys are stupid because they have your face. They know what you look like, and they're coming to get you, dude. I mean, then again, they're just Canadian cops.
Now,
so-
bear in mind, this is not the first fucking riot in Vancouver.
Yeah.
There was one in 1994 on the evening of June 14th and continued into the following morning. The riot arose after Game 7 of the 94 Cup, in which the Canucks lost to the New York Rangers. However, in 93, there was also a riot in Montreal when Montreal won. So when Montreal won, they rioted.
Yeah.
So wait, Canadians riot whether they win or lose.
Win or lose.
Though
Or is
I
it
will
just
say,
the majority of Canada, riots when they lose, but Montreal's got to be different, and then riots when they win.
Yeah.
Okay.
And apparently the only
Flip it
country that ever
backwards.
riots is Canada.
well,
when it comes to hockey.
I will be honest with you. I did think that some shit was going to get real in Boston. I was not expecting to wake up the next day and hear that Vancouver was rioting and nothing happened in Boston.
And nothing happens in Vancouver.
Yeah.
There's nothing there to riot.
I mean,
That's where they film a lot of the Seattle-based storied films. That's about it.
there was a line that the commentator kept saying. I forgot who said it, but he was basically like, we didn't lose to the British. We're not going to lose to British Columbia. And I was like, that's funny.
That's a dick move.
But yeah, it's just silliness over there in fucking.
Where was the
Vancouver.
riot from a couple decades back, or at least one decade back, with Guns N' Roses concert?
I'll look that
Oh my
up.
God,
Is that in
it's so
Canada?
good.
It was something like
There was-
I can't remember the other band that they were touring with, but the first band couldn't. No, I thought it wasn't it with Metallica?
I don't remember.
And that was when James had the accident with the player
Fire.
or whatever, and Guns N' Roses could have played, but they chose not to, and then there was riots. I don't know. He's looking it up. We'll figure it out.
There was I was watching a video about the Vancouver riot, and there was a scene that you saw where it was like an overhead scene of people rioting, and they had the cops with the riot shields coming down the line, and the people were running away. Well, there was one straggler, and the cop with the riot shield picked it up and fucking whacked the guy in the back of the head with the riot shield. I was like, damn! Canadian cops weren't playing around with their, riot shields. Hey there, mate. I'm just going to cause minor damage to you.
Is that what Canadians sound like?
Yeah, no. They're from Britain.
Canadians sound like the British?
Well, they're in British Columbia. I mean, come on now. Yeah, they probably talk like this, eh? What is this accent about?
With the house.
Get out of my house. Who's
What do they call mice?
Me's. I don't know, I'm making stuff up.
You always make stuff up.
Shut up.
No.
Alright.
If I shut up, we have no show.
Right now, it sits that in May 1991, still without an album to promote, Guns N' Roses embarked on a 2.5-year tour, a 2.5-year Use Your Illusion tour, which became known for both its financial success and many of the controversial incidents that occurred during shows, including late starts, onstage rantings, and riots. So that was worldwide. Guns N' Roses, that was one of the things that I was going to think about having actually to do a show later in the future, was to talk about Guns N' Roses. It's kind of like the whole acting thing. Tom Cruise, wonderful actor. I don't particularly care for him as a human being. Crazy motherfucker. Same thing with Gibson. He has his issues, but I think he's a wonderful actor. Axl Rose, phenomenal musician. The fucker can play his ass off on the piano. Kind of makes me overlook his insanity from time to time.
Well,
I like Chinese democracy. I just didn't think it was worth the 12-year wait.
if we do a Guns N' Roses show, can we start the recording and then just come out whenever we feel like it?
I actually saw Guns N' Roses. That reminds me. I actually saw them during the Use Your Illusion tour here in Raleigh, and Blind Melon opened up for them, and they didn't appear on the show for another 3 hours.
Are you serious?
But they put on one hell of a show.
By the time they got on
One
there?
hell of a show.
Wow.
I mean, how are you that much of a Chad where you're like, oh, dude, my fans are outside. I'm just going to make them wait for 3 hours. It's stupid. Fucking clowns.
And Lady Gaga can kiss my ass. She made $680 million last year.
What?
She was this close to a certified billionaire
Wow.
for shitty music.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber made $58 million last year. The fucker can't even vote.
Can't
And
sing either.
the record companies are talking about, we're losing money. No, your artists are apparently not starving.
Yeah.
Apparently are not starving. $58 million for a 17-year-old. That just sickens me. to death.
It's stupid, dude. He can't sing that well.
Can't sing
It's
that well,
all
either.
auto-tune. Why don't we pay the engineers that kind of money? Because the audio engineers are the ones that make it sound good.
There are some artists that require the studio.
There's a lot of artists nowadays that require the
Four
studio.
Blondes required the studio. They're a great studio band, but they required the tweaking. Alanis Morissette, same way. There's been some live performances I've heard from Alanis that were very well done. But generally, I was of a personal opinion that she needs the studio.
See, dude, there doesn't need to be musicians that can't, I'm sorry, if you can't sing, you have no business being, if I have to have an audio engineer sit there and tweak my voice all day long, that's not me, that's not my talent, but I'm still going to get paid $58 million fucking dollars for it.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, dude, that's stupid.
I never understood that, because if you're paying somebody that kind of money, you're paying them for their talent, not for the fact that you're tweaking them. Yeah. Anybody can do that.
Well, dude, I mean...
You don't even have to have millions of dollars of equipment to do it.
Well, I mean, dude, think of it this way. You go to work and you get paid, right? Mm-hmm. If you went to work and you had someone else tweak your work, you'd probably get fired because you weren't doing your job. So how is music different? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. It's not like you can go... I mean, you kind of look at paintings. With today's technology, anything can be classified as art.
Yeah.
But it's not like you can go back in time, take your machine, and go up to Van Gogh and go, paint that, I'm going to tweak it for you.
Yeah.
Van Gogh was famous for a reason.
Because he was talented.
He was talented, and he never got promotion.
Nope.
Then again, like through all artists in history, they mostly became famous after they died because they no longer were able to produce their art.
Yeah.
Edgar Allan Poe died a pauper. He died very poor.
Yeah.
And he became very famous 15 years after he died.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what you see with visual art is, you know, you mentioned Van Gogh. I can even bring this back to the beginning of modern art. Even Duchamp, even though he's known for his, the Dadaism and the found objects becoming art. There was meaning behind what they were doing. There was a statement they were trying to make. There was a rebellion they had. There were so many different things going on with why they were doing the art that they were doing that it made it something that it is. I mean, a lot of people look at a lot of modern art and be like, my 4-year-old can paint that, or,
right.
I can paint that and I have no art talent. That's not what it was about. It wasn't about the skill. It was about what you're trying to say with it.
True.
And nowadays, especially, a lot of people blame Andy Warhol with his work.
I don't mind.
But there's no... I don't mind his work either, but what he did for art as an industry, it became an industry. It became the heart got... There's no heart in it anymore. There's no reason for doing it.
I splash paint on a canvas and it's art.
I mean, there's apparently a guy that shoots paint out of his ass, okay? And it's considered art. I mean, it's... And there might be reasoning,
it's just disturbing.
And there might be reasoning behind it. There might be, a statement he's trying to make with it, but it's just... Things have gone so out there, and there's no real, thought behind it. It's just a mindless sort of... A lot of artists, even... artists are very talented. There's nothing behind it.
Right, and
I'm willing to bet with it's the same with all forms of art in contemporary culture, with the visual art, with music, with poetry, with writing, things like that. Everything's become commercial. It's no longer about an individual artist making a statement to further themselves as an artist. It's just, how can I make money?
Right.
How can I control the masses?
And don't get me wrong. I forgive me if I sound like I was simplifying it. My first issue when it comes to art is talent. Mm-hmm. If there's not talent there, but it still speaks to me, then I basically break down like you described.
That's what everybody misses with modern art, real quick, just to touch on your point, is you don't have to like it.
Yeah.
But if you actually take the time to learn about it and to learn what was behind it when they made the paintings.
Right.
Even Pollock had a reason behind his work. Yeah, you can look at it and go, I could do that. What makes him so special? It was what was behind it that you need to know about. But people don't want to take the time. They just want to look at it and say, ooh, it's pretty, and move on. And if that's your thing, fine. But don't sit here and say that Pollock's work is shit because you didn't want to take the time to figure out what the fuck it was about.
Right. But, like I said, and I've always felt this way, that any form of art, it's art if, in my personal opinion, I could be wrong, but it's just my opinion,
You're wrong.
Music is supposed to touch you. And not necessarily in your funny place.
Oh.
What if it causes you to touch yourself in the funny place?
Well, the Bloodhound Gang does that every once in a while for me.
Bad touch.
Or a lap dance.
Is the stripper crying, though? Because that is a necessity.
Yes.
Good.
I love the line where he says it was even more of a turn on when I found out she was doing me about baby formula. I was just like, wow. That's great. Greatest written song ever. With music, a lot of the things that hit me is I can relate to. I know what he or she is saying. I can understand. Been there, done that. I got the free T-shirt. I understand where they're coming from. And that's what, we talked about this earlier, and I was talking to a coworker at work. She asked what was one of my guilty pleasures of music. And I said, I've always liked Def Leppard up to Hysteria. I think they should have stopped after Hysteria. But the song Hysteria is a guilty pleasure of mine. There's just something about it that I absolutely love. It's got to be on my MP3 player when I'm staying on my island. I've got to have that song. I was 12 years old when the song came out. I started hearing it on the radio in heavy rotation at about 13, right before I turned 14. It reminds me of middle school. Just because every time I hear it, it makes me think of middle school. Mm-hmm. And all the people that I knew and all the friends I grew up with and stuff like that. So it's one of those little guilty pleasures. It's not one of Def Leppard's best songs. And it was something completely different from their earlier stuff because I don't think they get enough exposure from the earlier stuff. Let It Go was probably one of the greatest rock songs they ever did, and it came off high and dry. Very few people even know that album exists because they're all about pyromania, hysteria, adrenalize, and so on.
Well, we can fix that with our radio.
Exactly. With art, I'm not. It's like with food. My gullet's not that complicated. It's if it tastes good, I'll eat it. If it strikes me, I'll look at it, and I'll continue looking at it. And if I like it enough, I want. My wife loves. Was it Starry Night? Van Gogh. She loves it.
My mom's favorite painting.
It doesn't speak to me. It's not that I don't think it's art.
It
I
doesn't
think it's
touch
art.
you.
It just doesn't touch me.
That's fine. I think the Mona Lisa's overrated.
Yeah, it is, but it's because it's kind of like songs on the radios, overplayed. Mm-hmm. It's been exposed so many times. When somebody says, "Hey, we might have found the person that modeled for this," they were talking about that last month in the news. They might have found the person that inspired the paint. Well, they don't care anymore. For the last 36 years, it's Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. I'd rather know more about the Last Supper painting he did. Mm-hmm. With visual art paintings, he was talking about, oh, look, I can take a bucket of paint. I actually like some of that art.
It's interesting.
Not because, but I'm not trying to interpret anything out of it.
The random chance of the way that paint hits the canvas. And there's a guiding from the artist as to how the paint's going to hit the canvas. Or they make it completely up to random chance and just be like, throw paint in the air.
Well, it's like ink blotch.
It's interesting.
Some of them look like art to me. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, wow, it looks like two turtles fucking. Whatever. It looks like art. Because it's random chance. You take ink, you put a block, you fold it, you undo it. What do you got? Yeah. And I see more birds and flying insects than anything else because of the way the ink folds. But with visual art, I don't look at it so much as, oh, wow, I wonder what that person was thinking. That's not my first thought. My first thought was, wow, that caught my eye. Mm-hmm. Then I go, okay, why did it catch my eye? I don't see I kind of like modern art a little bit more because it looks, I'm going to sound like a shit, but it looks pretty. When I look at antique art, I'm like, okay, and I'm not using the sub-genre, I'm using this as a lack of a better word. I kind of look at most of your antique art as a form of expressionism. There's just something about it. Somebody's telling a story, somebody's telling an emotion, or somebody's trying to tell an event. And when you break
a lot of that old school art, it was in the chapels, in the churches,
right.
And it was because the majority of people in the Dark Ages were illiterate, so you had to use pictures to tell the story.
It's also
picture
like
page
how music.
Middle Ages. Time to grab your pen and grant souls. Yeah.
It's kind of how like music started. I mean, if you look at like the oldies, they always tell a story, they convey an emotion, they tell an event. Yeah. But then
minstrels did the same thing.
Yeah, and then now you look at shit today, and we're going to the club, and I'm going to get drunk.
Or she's grinding on my white tee.
I mean, yeah.
With her
I
ass.
guess technically it's telling a story, but it's telling a story about a dumb white bitch.
Yeah.
Is what it's doing.
But then again, you look
my
at Winona's Big Brown Beaver by Primus.
Oh, no.
That's a funny fucking story.
Right, but it's supposed to be funny.
But it's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
Whereas
And
this one is supposed to be serious.
Right, and then that's the thing. And then Primus gets ripped. I mean, literally by critics and by fans that are not rabid fans. But certain fans that like the music where, wow, Les can play the shit out of that bass. I'm literally surprised the damn thing's not smoking by the time he's done.
Yeah.
And I love some of his, most of their songs. But it's kind of like the Bloodhound Gang. Wonderful, wonderful musicians. I think the talent is wasted. It's funny to hear Lap Dance is so much better when Strippers Cry or Yellow Fever. But when you listen to Yellow Fever, they're actually playing music that sounds like we'll be on the Love Boat. And then he starts singing about how he wants to bang this Oriental chick. The song's been banned in most states. And I've actually got a copy of the song. It's actually great to listen to. But you're listening to it going, it's all about potty humor and fucking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'd like to hear what you guys sound like when you're doing a real serious song, just to see if you guys can pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Primus, I got mixed feelings with Primus. I like the
Some
way
of
they
their stuff
play.
is really good.
How can you sit there and not look like a retard in the middle of downtown Raleigh with your windows down and you're blasting Winona's Big Brown Beaver, singing along without getting those weird looks like, what the fuck is he listening to? Are you there on T?
Hey, we all live on T, bit.
Oh my. But just the comment that I was going to make, the statement that I was trying to make with Modern Art is there are a lot of people that hate Modern Art because they don't visually like it. And they hate it. They think it's worthless. They think there's nothing. And my point to that is you don't have to like something to understand that it's doing something for the visual art movement as a whole. And so in that situation, I was just trying to say, if you hate Modern Art, at least look into why it's important to the movement. Don't just bash it. If you don't like it, don't put it up in your fucking house.
It was like that piece I showed you in the Tower of Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's a modern painting. I could be way off based on that. That might
I believe it was a contemporary artist too.
But I mean, in the Tower of Sleep, you look at it. I actually saw it in real life at the museum, and
it's amazing.
And I'm sitting there looking at it, and at first I was like, "This kind of sucks," and then I looked at it more, and I was like, "Holy shit, there's a lot going on here."
Yeah.
So it's
in her comment about Andy Warhol, the thing that irritated me about Andy Warhol was the fact. What's the name of that Beatles photo he did, where he changed her color?
Always skim this section.
Oops, sorry. Trying to make it so. I was just trying to make it so that my fucking yeah, so it doesn't turn off so it doesn't turn it off.
Power Saver doesn't turn it on. Power Saver turns off the monitor. So
that's what she was talking about.
But you said make it so that you don't turn the Power Saver on.
Well,
No, it turns.
That's right. Breaking nuts one at a time.
It keeps trying to turn off the display.
Split hairs right down the fucking middle.
What's the name of the photo or the image that Warhol did with the Beatles?
I don't remember.
Anybody can do that with Photoshop. I've seen it.
Well, that was before the time of Photoshop.
Well, let's talk about.
Oh, I know. At then, because it was what, 60s?
Yeah, something like that.
So that may have been art at the time, but it's been so done and the process has been so streamlined, it's not art anymore.
Well, and the other thing too, speaking of Photoshop, any picture you see, particularly of women, is extremely Photoshop. Like they go in. No. They'll go in because
the
they
new
take
corset training is Photoshop. Didn't you know?
What?
The new corset training is Photoshop tools because you can just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
well, they use
itty bitty waist.
They take their pictures on like these solid color backgrounds, and what they do is they'll take like the liquefy tool or the nudge tool, and they'll like squish in their waist. They'll thin out their thighs.
Oh yeah.
And
Smooth
make
out
their
the
breasts.
skin.
Yeah, make their breasts look huge. So like when you see them on the magazine cover, you're like, oh damn. But when you see them in real life, you're like, oh.
Oh.
Well,
let's talk about because we keep mentioning the copyright issues with music today and that kind of thing, and the music industry talking about what you can and cannot do with your art with your music once you purchase it. What about Warhol's famous Campbell Soup label painting?
I think that was paid through royalties by Campbell Soup.
Was it?
Royalties and licensing are two different things.
I'm just saying. I mean, motherfucker didn't. All he did was just take the label and then make different colors, and that was his work of art. Art in quotations.
Right, but I think because he was able to pay money's exchanging hands with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there might be some, I could be wrong on this, and I'll look it up just to double check, so I don't say, hey, the Analog Kid said this, so it must be true. I think that once...
You know there's going to be people that do that, right?
Yeah.
That's why we got to double check
That's
all
why
of
you'll
have
everything
your
that we say.
Dude, 200 years, you'll have your own religion.
Ooh.
I have my own religion now.
And they'll talk about the day of your coming.
Kneel before my altar.
And he will descend from hell.
And you'll have the
Does that mean
body
the 6-year-old is
I'm not Catholic.
You can get
You know
explained.
Catholics worship Mary and the saints. Ooh, gonna be goddess.
I think that after an artist does something for a major business, there's a one-time payment, and that there's a contract signed that once you've been paid, we will do with this image how we feel because it's our image. You're modifying it. You don't own this image. So I think that's what went on with Andy Warhol. I'm going to double check on that. That's going to take me a little while to double check. But if Andy Warhol had come up with a brand new label, then there was one of two things to where he's paid royalties through Campbell Soup for the rest of his life, or he sells it to Campbell Soup for a one-time fee. It's what a lot of and I found this out the hard way. If you're ever thinking about writing a book and it's successful, and Hollywood approaches you, do not sell the right to turn it into a film because then you lose ownership of the book.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's dirty. That's dirty.
Right, so don't ever sell your intellectual property unless you really want to get rid of it. And you won't make money off of it if you sell it. You'll make money that one time and bam, it's done. So they'll offer you $450,000 and you're thinking it can't be that great of a bug, and one person came up and one producer company came up to me. It's not like Paramount was beating down my door, and all of a sudden it makes $187 million opening weekend. You're out of that money.
Yep.
Well, I guess it's kind of like when if you have farmland and a big business approaches you and wants to sell your. Once you sell your land, that's it. It's done. It's gone. You don't get anything. Even if they build a prolific supermarket on it, you don't get shit.
Well, it's like we get you guys.
One and done.
You've been to the Terrytown Center, right? Did you? Do you remember how old you were the first time you went there?
15 or so.
Was it before 1993?
No.
Okay. Before 1993, there used to be a very large mound in front of the pavilion that had a very big, huge oak tree. It was huge. It was beautiful. It was huge and it was beautiful.
Sounds beautiful.
Lightning hit the tree.
Oh.
Now, the reason why it was still there was because the guy that sold the land to the developers for the mall said, you can have everything, do not take down this tree. 10 years later, lightning struck it, split right down the middle, killed it. So they removed the mound to make more parking spaces. But it used to be this big, huge, probably about half the size of this apartment complex building in width. And it was probably about 4 stories high before you got to the base of the tree. But it was big, it was huge, it was beautiful looking. And then lightning still couldn't go, no. But you can make contracts when you sell things for stipulations, exceptions, please don't, please do. You can have all this, you don't do that. That sort of stuff. Turner Farms did the same thing out here in Garner. They did the same thing. The whole shit from the Johnston County, Wake County borderline all the way up to Timber Drive was one big, huge farmland owned by Turner. And he sold it a piece at a time. And the part that he stipulated was, you can have all this land if you pay to move my house.
Oh.
And they did. And on Timber Drive, there's a Food Land shopping center. There used to be a white house behind it. That was the Turner Farm family home.
Wow.
It used to be smack in the middle of 50. So then when they moved it, and then the last surviving member is like, I need the money, go ahead and sell the house, you can have all the rest of the land, I just need the money.
That sucks.
So now it's owned by the state, or the county. Songwriter, same thing. If you're a songwriter but you're not a musician, you sell your song to a boy band, and they make millions off that single, you get a royalty, one-time royalty, that's about it, unless you have a specific contract.
That says I make this much off of it.
Yeah.
So then you're getting royalties.
Yeah, so you got to be real careful on what intellectual property you sell and how you sell it.
Well, it's the same thing with record companies and musicians themselves is you've got to know your contractor. You're going to get fucked
You're going
over.
to be screwed, raped over and over again.
Which
It hurts.
It's dolphins. Gotta make sure I have my problem.
What's the dinosaur rape whistle then?
Ah! Not like it!
Or it could suspiciously sound like cow.
Oh.
Oh. Now we're good.
Knocking over dinosaurs.
So it's what, 2:50 our time? What's that over in England?
7:50.
Who cares a clock?
I did send Calvin an email like, hey, you know,
You're
which is weird
twit.
because
You call it a pregnant goldfish?
what?
That's what a twit is. It's a pregnant goldfish.
Pregnant goldfish?
Yeah.
Wow.
He is that dude.
Useless information.
You are. You're just full of it. But no, I did send him an email just being like, hey, Facebook says you're at a pub, which is weird. I don't think I should know that, but Facebook told me that he's at a pub right now.
And I hear and
And,
Facebook never lies.
Well, no, because he checked it in his damn self.
How do you know it
He
wasn't
called me.
Chris
He
signing
was
in?
like, he was like me and Chris are at this pub. Haha. And I'm like, really? It's kind of creepy that I know that now. But yeah, they're apparently at a pub. And I sent him an email though saying, hey, we're recording. If they had anything to add, but I also called them cum buckets.
At my request.
Because I was like, we've worn out the poppets and the
Puppet.
what's the other one? Chav.
Yeah, and John, no offense, calm down with the legendary. Because I think you're kind of wearing that one out too.
You know what, dude? I'm about to wear out the inside of your mouth.
Yeah, no, I think so. You couldn't handle it.
Erosion, bitch.
But no, we haven't heard back from him, and I'm assuming it's because I called him a cum bucket. Him and Chris. Although he should know by now that is something that I would not say. But.
Well, I mean, even still, like, all I'm going to say is he knows we're recording, and he chooses to go out to pubs and socialize with men. Get the fuck out of here.
And now he's pulling Chris along, too, so it's not even like we could ask Chris if he wanted to stay.
That just sounds very homo.
Well, that him and Chris are skanking around in a pub.
If they both go at the same time to the same place.
And jerk off.
All the time.
Oh no! You think that, one of them's buying the other one drinks and go back, have a little old fest, if you know what I mean.
I bet they really do hate us.
Seriously, they're probably when they say at the pub, they mean in the war room. Plotting our demise. Plotting the invasion of America.
I would like to know,
Why you're so gay?
Per Fred, a Britishism. It's called creased. In the sentence of he creased me up.
Oh no!
So I looked it up.
Crease that bitch's ass cheeks.
Oh no!
Creased, not greased.
I said creased.
No, you said greased.
I said
It
creased.
sounded like grease in my ears.
Yeah, it's because you're retarded.
On the last trip to England,
Too much
I
color in his
heard
ears.
really creased me up a lot, which I took to mean laughed hard or found really funny. If that's the case, GIMP is all about creasing and folding, crumpling and crimpling, chewing up a pulp and spitting out parchment.
Gimp?
Yeah, that's what it says. So
Well,
I'm just curious if
Cal's a gift? Is that what I just heard?
Well, Cal used the term raging yesterday with being really, really angry.
No. That stands for being really, really hard and horny.
Oh no!
hot,
Raging
real hot.
What about chowder?
Chowder. It's chowder.
Chowder.
Like I said, my brother had that joke about he thinks that the people who came up with the name Dora the Explorer must have come from the Kennedy compound. Dora the Explorer. But yeah, so Fred wants to know what creased means. And it's spelled C-R-E-A-S-E-D.
How are you gonna tell me that I started making tea and totally fucking forgot about it?
You were totally making tea, in case you forgot.
And you totally forgot about it.
Oh no. She done gone forgot about it, she did, Rich.
Shut your chatty mouth!
Oh, I'll come over there and punch right in the nuts, I will.
That's fine.
And by the way, he's been listening to Listen with Nico, and he's got this idea that he's going to out Nico you.
Dueling Nickos.
Yeah, so we were talking about doing our own version of dueling banjos with dueling Nickos. Because he didn't understand why you kept talking about grubby little fingers and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's listen with Nico. He goes, what's that? And I said, and you can listen to it. And so he's been listening to it, and he's like, oh, okay, and I finally understand the joke.
Listen with Nico is legendary.
Legendary!
You're not allowed to do that anymore. Stop it.
I can't help it.
No, you can still do it, just don't wear it out. Damn.
Go wear it inside your mouth. Erosion.
Damn it, I was going to say that.
I've always wanted to know why the Brits spell color C-O-L-O-U-R.
Well, that's like realize is spelled with an S instead of a Z.
I'm looking at some of that where
just various things.
Acknowledgement.
Why gotta be at the dinosaurs? Stop sacking the dinosaurs.
I think it's funny to hear a British person say aluminum.
Aluminium.
Yes.
Wait, what is it? Aluminium?
Aluminium. That's
Aluminium.
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 What? I had to go, what? It's aluminum, you ass.
But I do like that they pronounce herbs. They pronounce herbs.
Our thick American.
Because there's a fucking H in it.
Which is weird because they refer to Steve Harris as Airy.
Airy!
Oh, Harry!
In a lot of names.
Is that a blowjob?
I don't know, Harry. Do you think it's a blowjob?
It could be a blowjob.
A blowjob!
And why is center, the R and the E backwards?
Are they the ones that flipped the R and the E for theater?
Yeah, theater. And thespian.
Lesbian?
You're a thespian.
And glue is spelled C-L-E-U. E-W.
Glue?
Glue.
Like
I'm sorry, clue.
Oh,
it's spelled C-L-E-W over in England.
Someone can't fucking...
Diarrhea is even spelled almost completely weird.
Almost completely weird?
Well, in here it's D-I-A-R-R-H-E-A. In England, it's D-I-A-R-R-O-H-E-A.
What's the O do?
H-O-E-A.
Diarrhea.
Dispatch in the United States is D-I-S. In England, it's D-E-S. So it's just really weird. I mean, it's like almost reading a completely different language.
Let's stop talking about
I never understood why they spelled Jeffrey with a G.
Joffrey.
Joffrey.
Joff.
Oh, and by the way, where you're sitting there talking about Blackadder.
Oh my god, awesome shit.
Where the best line I've ever heard from the show is from Brian Blessed, where he says, "The length of my sword is only known to the Queen and 1,000 Turkish whores." It is like the best line for that whole series. Brian Blessed is the man.
Yeah, watch me work my biceps.
Legitimate. Which, by the way, was a great line from last week.
What?
He's talking about I had to keep my nanny legitimate.
Oh.
That was great.
What was I supposed to do? Make her clean the house legitimately?
That's not what nannies are for. They're there for my sexual pleasure. And then to clean up afterwards. How you like me now?
Well, wouldn't it have just been easier just to pawn her off to Crystal Walken?
Wow. I would like Spanish babes. They're too loud and they demand things. I'm more of a one and done kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Guzzle it. Roll my some stuff up.
Slurpee.
You should get closer to the microphone and do that.
What is?
Just to piss off Cal. He's the only one who listens to it anyway. Although, didn't you get one of your friends to listen to it?
Yeah, my boy listened to it.
Word.
That almost sounds homo.
It is homo. See, I just stole his thunder.
You did. Ooh, let's talk about the man in Alaska that punched a 7-year-old girl in the face for a bike. That was in the news.
Wait, was she on the bike?
From my understanding...
Come here, you little shit!
From my understanding...
Get over here!
The way that it went down...
Finish her!
From my understanding, the way that it went down was apparently he had... there was an attempted robbery, or maybe he wanted her bike, and she said no.
Bodies.
So he punched her in the face, and then apparently he knocked her out from punching her in the face, and then continued to punch her in the face. So poor thing had to go to the hospital.
I'm sorry, it shouldn't be funny, but it kind of is.
Well, when he's doing dirty things with a dinosaur, it's just...
Well, I was trying to...
Pilates!
It can't suck its own tail. Stop it.
It needs to lose some weight first. Lose some weight first.
Yeah, brontosaurus. What are you thinking? You stop trying to suck its tail.
So I was going to take the air out so it could use its weight.
Yeah, but then it'll just be limp.
That's none of your concern.
Oh.
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
So what? He was it? He
Apparently, he had an infected broken arm. So they say that he was not in the right mind at the time of the incident. But I mean, he still punched a 7-year-old girl in the face.
Yo, Rick, break my arm real fast. I want to get infected so I can go do some stupid shit.
repeatedly, apparently.
But he's being charged with attempted robbery and assault. Naturally.
That's my bike, bitch. Finish her.
You.
So yeah, oh yeah, I got another story. There was a woman and her kids. Oh yeah, all right. So let's rewind a little bit. The U.S. Open, the golf thing. I don't know why people care so much about golf, going to watch it, but
it's a Scottish sport. I really don't care.
The whole thing with it is there's very little parking. So there's people that have to go through the state to get a permit, but they allow people to park on their front lawns, and you're looking at $60 to park your vehicle.
What, the Stones are in town?
$40 to $60, depending on how far away you are, to park in someone's front lawn. So there were kids and the mother that were outside selling lemonade, and I think it was like $2 a cup, which is still kind of expensive, but whatever.
It was cheaper than trying to get.
I think it was $2.
God damn it! There better be a party in my mouth for $2 a cup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, the specifics. I think I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was $2 a cup. So they get stopped.
I mean, people, sell lemonade on the side of the road.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. When you were a kid, everybody's done it at least once.
You just gotta make sure if it's a homeless guy, probably don't want that lemonade because he's probably pissed.
Yeah. So I mean,
if he's above the age of 10, be wary of that lemonade.
So there was I guess social workers. I don't know what you would actually call them, but he came up and told the kids and the mother because they didn't have a permit to sell lemonade, they were going to be fined by the state for $500. Mm-hmm. That is a wad of shit. Now, the mother insists they were donating the money to charity, the money that they made to charity. Now, how true that is, I don't know. It could have just been a ploy to try and get out of it or to get the public side. But even still, because the clip that I saw, she actually asked the guy and said, "You have people that sell lemonade all over the place all the time. How is this any different?" And his response was, "Because you're selling it, because you have so many pictures of it, and you're selling so much of it, that I'm going to fine you."
So clearly, because you're making money, you're actually making a profit.
That would
impact your income.
Well, no. To the best of my knowledge, would go towards charity. Because they didn't have a permit. You had to go get a permit.
Were there vendors there?
No. Not that I saw. It looked like it was in a neighborhood.
But if vendors were present, then yes, I can understand why she was threatening to find it.
Yeah. But she wasn't threatened.
Saying, it wasn't a threat. It was a legitimate. She was actually
She was written up on the spot. A fine. $500.
That's somebody abusing their power a little too much.
No, just somebody who's being a chav.
Yeah, being a dick.
Dickhead. A douche. A douche knows all. His name was probably Gav. Whoopsies, that was said out there. I'm just kidding. Gav lives over in another country that's not important, so it wasn't him.
Yeah, I mean, how can you take a Bobby seriously?
How can you take what?
A Bobby seriously. They don't carry a gun.
I might get you with my taser.
Taser?
I don't get threatened by your stick there, sir.
You're going to be threatened by my stick there, boy.
If you're going to sit there and beat me with it, I might like that.
Oh, I'll beat you with it. Good.
With your chowder. But yeah, let's take a break so I can cut it.
Sorry about
that. Let's end it on that note.
Hey, hang on, it wasn't good etiquette. Hang on, got to stick my pinky out, I do. So, Calvin, I'm enjoying a nice steaming, piping hot cup of tea, I am. Hang on, let me get a little closer to the mic here so you can really just, get it right in your ear hole there. Oh, indubitably, that was a very... Don't interrupt me while I'm talking to the British.
By the British, you mean
Now I don't even remember where I was.
Just like the British.
Oopsies.
You keep forgetting you're on an island.
Land. I was about to say landlocked. Whoops, wrong.
They're not even a peninsula.
They're not even a real country. Oopsie, I said that out loud now, didn't I?
You
They
did.
were conquered by the Anglos and the Saxons.
I'm sorry, every time you say Saxons, I think suck. Zach was the word that I was coming out with.
Like, what did he even say?
Shut up.
No.
Alright. It was a suggestion. I mean, you don't have to. I'm just
A
pointing
little
it out.
food for thought, you know.
Yeah, something to nibble on.
Cheese and crackers, it is.
Oh, crumpets and tea. So yeah,
biscuits.
Calvi, you could expect yourself to... Oh, I spilled my tea all over my... Oh, no, I didn't.
I was
I
gonna
got it
say.
on my wiener. It would look like I done peed myself, it would. You could expect some more Midnight Madness coming your way. I've got some free time on my hands now that I finally graduated.
Woo!
Yay, everybody clap your hands for me.
Ow!
That's right. You make me feel good. The fuck is it so goddamn quiet?
I'm sorry, I'm eating these crack cookies.
Noise! I'm making noise! Does nobody else will make noise?
Yeah, I made waffles again today, and I baked snickerdoodles earlier in the week.
You said waffles and snickerdoodles.
I told her she needed to combine both recipes.
I'm working on
Waffles.
trying to make snickerdoodle waffles. I
Fine,
found the
chopped
recipe.
No! It can't be done! Get out! Get the maid, quick!
But yeah,
Why are you always going for the maid? Oh my god! Why is your dick in the batter?
Oh no!
I eat those waffles, you son of a bitch! Now you'll be guzzling on my ham and I don't even know what that. Oh my god!
If I die cooking on her cookie while you making your joke, you don't get paid.
Oh.
Oh.
Fred's still gonna be around for the next
3 years.
I was gonna say like 13 months.
Oh my god. Well, apparently I can't eat anything.
You can eat this sausage.
Learn about
Learn about it.
it.
We need to have a section called Learn About It.
Well, it'd just be you talking about your dick.
And
And your...
It'd be a very small
And?
vlog.
or would it be so massive you couldn't comprehend it? No, it would be small, you're right.
But I think it's funny when he's
defeated.
talking about the dick and the batter when you were talking about the chowder.
Oh yeah.
It's my
So I've
chowder.
never actually tried clam chowder before.
Hey, this
And
isn't.
I was at Panera yesterday. I was, getting myself some lunch, and they had the chowder the clam chowder as a soup that was an option, and
It's not soup, it's chowder.
Yeah.
whatever.
Chowder.
I actually considered ordering it just to see what it was all about.
Terrible.
Because the servings at Panera, when you get a to-go order, are quite small. So I figured if I didn't like it, I wouldn't, be wasting too much or whatever. But as I get up to the counter and the guy's taking my order, I remember the scene in Fight Club where she goes to order the chowder and the waiter is just like, the lady doesn't want to do that. And you don't know what they put in chowder, but you have a good idea that it wasn't something you want to be eating, and it was probably
Because
white.
it's creamy.
And full of extra protein.
Exactly.
But
Clams are good.
but yeah, I'm a bad vegetarian, and sometimes we'll eat seafood.
There's nothing wrong with eating seafood. I know a lot of vegetarians that do it. They just can't eat.
Well, technically, you're not a vegetarian. You're
No. If you're
so
if
I
you're-
do it sparingly,
If you're
but
a
I still.
vegetarian that doesn't eat any form of meat, you fall under one of two categories, and sometimes both at the same time. Pussy or vegan.
Vegan pussy?
Well, look at Joaquin Phoenix. He's vegan. And I read an interview where he had to wear that that special white emperor's clothing for Gladiator, and it was made out of real animal parts, feathers and everything.
Uh-huh.
He had a hard time wearing it because of his
veganism,
whatever you want to call it. Veganism. And I'm just going, fucker, you're getting paid at least 6 digits. Put the fucking costume on and quit whining.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
Your brother's
Whiny
dead.
bitch.
Move on.
He's a whiny
What
bitch.
does I have to do with it?
His brother liked
I
to
was trying to
touch
make a joke
Oh.
because River's dead.
His brother liked to touch me, dude.
But
Right in the pip shoot. Just got his little finger and went like that.
oh my. But so ending of my story was I didn't end up ordering the clam chowder. I went with French onion soup instead.
So she was telling me about this. And she said, I heard your wife can make a pretty decent clam chowder. And I'm like, well, she actually hasn't made it. She has a recipe for it. My mother used to make one that was really good. It was based off my grandfather's recipe. And I said, I've always had issue with it because it didn't have enough clams in it. They use clams sparingly. Everybody's like, well, they're expensive. Fuck you. If you're going to make clam chowder that's going to last a fucking week, because they make it in a big fucking pot that will last a week, you're going to put, I like a little chowder with my clams. So we have the recipe for it, and so I was telling her about it, and she was telling me about that scene in Fight Club. And I'm like, and she goes, well, I heard yours is, is pretty much, the baller stuff. And I was like, what makes you think the reason why it's baller is because I put my own special ingredients? And she goes, never mind, I'm good. I don't have to
I'm good. I don't need to try it now. I'm good. If those are my options,
so
it's trying his special chowder and not having clam chowder. I've lived this long without trying it. I'm good.
So I went over to your
I'm good.
desk and I said, you're going to have a bowl and quit being a pussy about it. And she's like, no.
I'll have a bowl of that.
You'll have 2 bowls of that.
And I'll actually have the whole goddamn thing.
But yeah.
Why is the chowder all over the kitchen? Me and the maid are getting a little frisky. Although I don't know why she didn't clean it up. Bitch, I paid you money!
Now clean it up quietly.
Just remember, if you bend over to clean anything up, it's fair game.
Oh no.
Walking on water. I wouldn't mind hearing like the Arnold Schwarzenegger Christmas songs. Like it's just the best of the Christmas songs with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Dashing through the snow. Through the fields we go. Like you wouldn't remember the words because you just start like.
Do that this Christmas. Have
This
a
Christmas,
section.
Time Life brings you the sound of Arnold Schwarzenegger's Christmas. I'm roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost, well, and it was.
So yeah, I think we should do that. We should have the Arnold Schwarzenegger best of Christmas songs.
Is that going to overrule your Iron Maiden?
No,
Christmas?
in conjunction with the Ball or Iron Maiden.
Wait, how in
Who's
the
than a Santa Claus?
in the 12 Days of Christmas, is it 6 maids of milking?
I think it is.
No.
Whether
7
this
maids,
maids, they're
8
milking me.
8 milking?
Hold on.
Oh, really? Nobody laughed at that.
I
one?
did laugh at that one. Ha ha!
Nothing.
Made joke.
6 maids of milking me.
Not 6 maids milking.
I think it's 8 maids of milking.
Whatever, dude.
7 swans swimming. 6 geese a laying.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
5 golden rings. Ha ha ha!
No, I'm sorry. It's not 5 golden rings. It's 5 golden rings.
4 calling birds.
3 chickens.
2 turtle doves.
And
It's-
come sitting in a pile.
It's a partridge in a pear tree, 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens, 4 collie birds,
Oh.
5 gold rings, 6 geese a laying, 7 swans a swimming, 8 maids milking,
Oh,
9
good.
ladies dancing,
Even
10
more
dwarfs
maids to
weaving,
milk
11
me.
pipers piping, and 12 drummers drumming.
Line up, ladies.
What about, does Christopher Walken have any Christmas specials?
Yeah, he interrupts Arnold Schwarzenegger. Dashing through the snow.
No,
This
that's
is
too
terrible.
Much, that's too much like, if I'm not mistaken, that's too similar to a Frank Sinatra Christmas something or other where somebody was doing songs and then Frank would come in and interrupt by correcting it.
Oh, that's gay.
I was thinking of the South Park version of Come Sail Away, where in the
Which
middle of it,
which is epic.
Chef comes in and it's just like...
It's epic.
It is epic.
I like
It's fucking amazing.
I like how when they're
But
sitting in the
Matt
car, they
Snell's
go,
sitting there doing it
"Oh, that's
that
fine. You
long.
interrupt me."
I want to know how
Learn
many
about
takes
it.
it took for Matt to sit there and do his Eric Cartman impersonation, singing an Eric Cartman song that's almost 4 minutes long, and just, I mean, without literally losing his shit or hurting his damn vocal cords
Yeah.
while he's trying to do. I mean, Cartman's not an easy character to pull off.
I used to be able to do Cartman. The
I bet you did.
the best was that's right.
You like him. You like fatties,
I
don't
like
you?
big,
He's
yeah.
chubby chase.
But no, the best was when they're sitting in the car and Kyle goes, "Hey Cartman, I'm sailing
yeah, it's
away,"
like, no, stop.
and then Cartman goes,
Yeah.
"Sailing up cars for the Virgin Sea, 'cause I've got to be free to face life ahead of me."
He
Yeah.
says
I mean,
it
he did the
fast.
song like in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's all. He said, "Cars anyway, cars anyway, come sail away with me, baby."
You get.
You guys.
You get.
I actually can't hear the original because I was introduced to this. Like we were kids when that came out, and this Eric Cartman one.
You.
And we don't need to share.
I got one for your parents for starting late.
But no, so I heard the Eric Cartman version first, and
Yeah.
I can't take the original seriously. I really can't. I tried to listen to it once, and I was just laughing the whole time. Like, it
Pretty
needs more
much.
I
Cartman.
also put, I mean,
It needs more Eric Cartman.
the last couple years of Isaac Hayes kind of made me scratch my head going, wait a minute, it's okay to poke fun at all the other religions but Scientology. And then the fucker died. So I was like, okay, never
Well,
mind.
from my
But
understanding,
his
if-
chocolate salty balls was like right there next to Lap Dancer So Much Better on Surface Crime. It's
Yeah.
like one of the greatest fucking epic written songs
Well,
ever.
my thing with Isaac Hayes, from my understanding, was they did the episode, and then from my understanding, I could be wrong, but it was basically Scientology was basically saying it's either you're doing this or you're with us.
Yeah.
So they made him kind of choose.
So he was kind of indifferent, but Scientology gave him an ultimatum, basically.
But it wasn't so much an ultimatum, it was more of the fact that, hey, look, you're with us by poking fun at everybody, or you're not with us because of your Scientology.
Yeah,
So-
I thought it was a chatty thing to do. I ain't gonna lie.
But and he decided, you know what, because you decided to poke fun at Scientology and wanted me in on the joke of my own religion, I'm done. And I'm going, Isaac, you're an idiot. It's a joke.
Yeah.
If you can't take a joke seriously, then it's like you and I were talking about before John got here, is that most people take their religion, their faith, their politics, and themselves way too seriously.
Pretty much.
And when I see one of these fundamental motherfuckers out there, I'm like, I gotta fight the compulsion not to knock them down to my level. Because I see, what was that? I went to the Pink Floyd concert when they did the Division Bell tour here in Raleigh, and there was one guy, literally, I shit you not, was on a soapbox. Literally standing on an actual soapbox and was preaching the Word of God. And this is before the gates opened. And I'm going, it's Pink fucking Floyd. And he's like, he's got a Bible in his hand, and he was a Southern Baptist preacher. And he's like, if Jesus came back right now, would you go? And one guy heckled him in the background and goes, no, I'd wait till the show was over with, and then I'd go. And I'm just going, okay, I could understand or expect you to be at like a Metallica show, a Maiden show, a Dio show, heavy metal. It's Pink fucking Floyd. Why are you thumping Bible stand? Dude, the soapbox, that was one of those old crate wooden soapboxes. Really? You literally brought a soapbox? And the man was like 6'2", and I'm like, you don't need the soapbox. So I kind of took the soapbox as like a double insult, to where he wanted to make sure he could be seen, and he was actually making the statement that, yes, I am indeed on a soapbox. And I was
Learn
like,
about it.
I'm like,
Learn about it.
fuck you, I'm going to go sit down in the bleachers and wait for the band to come on stage.
Wasn't there some drunk chick, too?
Yeah,
Did she poo herself?
She puked on my Division Bell poster that apparently you can only find online for $200. But by the way, like I said, who the fuck is laughing now?
Yeah, because you wiped that puke off.
$1,500 for that box of mine?
Yeah,
The
that
Iron
shit
Maiden.
is that's legendary.
The Iron Maiden box set that you were talking about in the last Iron Maiden segment,
Mhm.
apparently doesn't retail, but apparently is worth at least $1,500
$1,500.
as seen on his
And I
recent
paid $300
eBay.
for it. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you!
Yeah, but here's the thing: are you ever going to sell it?
Hells no!
Well,
Yeah,
you can
that's the thing.
suck my wife's salty.
It's the only way you can actually find.
What if you pass away and sell your things?
She said, as I quote, "It's probably going to be buried with me in my Jeep."
All right, bring him in.
I'll be buried like
Now
Chuck
you
Norris.
understand why the Egyptians had pyramids.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to bring my own here, but I plan on living forever anyway.
Talk to Fred.
It's the only. He's
a Highlander.
Fred the Highlander, that's
I could be
awesome.
the only one.
Who's gone to see now?
However,
So he forgets he's a Highlander.
the box set's the only release that I'm aware of, other than digital download, that you could find to listen with Nico parts. I can't find them anywhere else.
Really?
Even when Iron Maiden went from EMI to Castle Records, they re-released the box set for the first 10 years worth of albums, from 80 to 90, or actually from 80 to 88, so the first 8 CDs, with everything from the box set except the listen with nickel parts. So I didn't understand. So I don't know. It's the only.
Well, I hope that we talk about it so much that they have to re-release it.
I just hope we
It's
talk about it so
hilarious.
much so that they come over and then they basically sit us down and they're like, "You're gonna listen with Nico." That's what I hope.
I just want to hang out with Nico McBrain just to see what my day's going to be like. Just want to figure out, okay,
Hookers and blow.
hookers and blow. No, actually, I was going to say this for later, but actually, he became a quote unquote found God. It was like 2006, 2007, and started going to church with his wife and kids. And what's really cool about that is that he's still with Iron Maiden. Most of your heavy metalers that found God left the band.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's against my religion. Nico's not like that. He doesn't shove it down your throat. People have asked him about it. He doesn't really talk about it all that much. So it's not like he's preaching. So I think that,
Word.
and I give awesome props for that because if I'm going to pick up a magazine about a band, I don't want to hear about the religious practices. I want to hear about the music, and what inspired it, and how they wrote the songs, and what am I going to expect in the future. So it's really cool. But yeah, he said he had an epiphany one day. And it just made sense to him, and he started going to church, and he's been going ever since. But we can always find out what church he goes to because he's got a house in fucking Florida.
Is that you, Nico McBrain? Oh my goodness! You one of the grubby few that got listen with Nico.
I think that even if it was just like, us and Nico go to a fucking like carnival or something, it would just be a baller time. He just seems like he's just like a
Well, you were talking about
out there kind of guy.
If you listened to it, you were talking about, I want him to read my grocery list.
I want him to narrate my life.
Yeah.
I want him to just anything and everything and anything
She picked
that
up the
he
soup
can
can with her
read.
grubby little fingers.
I mean, anything and everything that Nico could possibly read or narrate, I want it done. I want it to, even if it's, the only way I will ever listen to the Twilight books is if he
I was just
narrates
thinking
them.
that.
Seriously,
But I didn't want to
narrates them
interrupt.
and interjects with, like, what the fuck is this shit?
The vampires just glitter in the what was that? It's a crock of shit is what that is.
I ain't playing. I need Nico McBrain to fucking read some more shit. With
All
the
I heard was,
microphone.
I ain't playing, I need Nick.
And then she'll be playing.
Really?
Well, come on.
I'm trying to drink
Think
my
of what he
water.
could not read. Think of something he could not read.
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I got nothing.
Anything in literature.
Anything and
Including
everything.
smut novels. Would you
Oh, that would be
listen-
hysterical.
Would you listen to smut novels read by Nico McBrain?
He then penetrated her quivering penis with his grubby little wiener.
I hope Nico McBrain hears this and is just like, challenge accepted. And just sends us random shit of him
Yeah,
reading.
and seriously, I hope he never calls us up and sits there and chews us out and leaves us with a new ass.
Yeah, that'd be
Because
sad.
we can come up.
You know what I do for no? He called me like, you know what I do for a living? I'm a sick ass drummer. What you do for a living?
I'm sorry. He'll never do it again.
I thought.
Will you tell that story?
What?
The Grandpa No story.
I think I already did, didn't I? Well,
No.
either way, we were at the
Do you
IMAX.
know the Grandpa No story?
I've heard it 2 or 3 times.
Has he said it on the air though? I don't remember him saying it on the air.
I don't know if he said it in the air.
Well, we were at it was an 8th grade field trip. It was going, back in the day. But we went to the IMAX theater.
Hold on, let me put my Daniel Boone hat on. That's back in the day. Keep going.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was wondering if you were done interrupting me.
eruption learn about it.
Actually, no, that would be epic. If Nickel McBrain narrated Arnold with Maid and Christopher Walken walking in. That would be epic.
He then looked at the.
He's like, fuck challenge accepted. I'm going to go ahead and go into it right now.
He then looked at the counter and was immediately disgusted by the sight of Arnold Schwarzenegger's grubby litter that and the fat Spanish maid. But no. So we're going into the IMAX theater, and there was like us and 2 or 3 other schools there, and obviously we had the chaperones and everything, and the lights go down, and it does the whole welcome to IMAX, and at that point, right after it said that, you just heard a buddy of mine go, "Grandpa, no!" And you see all the chaperones pop up. The kid, we're all laughing hysterically, and all the chaperones pop up like, who said that? Who said that?
Behold the power.
Not like this. And then we're sitting there, and as it's playing, it was talking about the Egyptians, and another one of my buddies sitting there like, yeah, Egyptian porn. Let me see some of those Nefertitties. The whole time he's just sitting there narrating.
It's like, have you seen Farce of the Penguins?
Yes.
That is hysterical. I just love Samuel L. Jackson actually taking over Morgan Freeman's role of narrating Penguins Walking, that's played by Bob Saget and Louis Black.
Yeah.
And Tracy Morgan comes in and talking about, it's hysterical.
Yeah.
They actually take real footage of migrating penguins. And Bob Saget's character is they're talking about I need to find the one to mate, and he's got this whole first time forever type meeting with the one true penguin that they're going to mate for the rest of his life. And Louis Black's like, his character's like, well, you just pick one, you pick one. And, it just keeps going like, he's basically the drunk buddy. And then Tracy Morgan comes out talking about how big his penguin penis is and shit like that, and making all sorts of stuff. And Samuel L. Jackson's narrating this entire story from beginning to end, and it's fucking hysterical. As a matter of fact, Tracy Morgan started talking shit to Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck is telling this goddamn story?
What was it Tracy Morgan that had there was I think if I remember right, there was one of them that was forced to stay behind and watch after the kids or something like that. Was it Tracy Morgan's character?
I don't remember.
Maybe that might be a different movie I'm thinking of.
It's not for kids at all. And you're thinking,
yes,
penguins footage. No. There's some of the raunchiest language I've ever heard. Because what was the Morgan Freeman's doing something else about dolphins or whales, like he did with the March of the Penguins thing. And I'm going, really? Is it really necessary to sit there and have your Discovery Channel movies and narrate 2.5 hours of how whales are migrating from north to south?
Dude, he's doing a thing on the Science Channel where he's narrating black holes. What?
No, there was a hair on
Is that a new porn?
What?
He said something about narrating black holes.
Well, it's talking about, space,
Really?
galaxies, and
Final
light,
frontier.
and black holes.